Veterans re-entering civilian life face many challenges, including finding a job. Hi, I'm Montel Williams. Welcome to this edition of Military Makeover Operation Career. Today we have 4 inspirational stories of former service men and women who have reinvented themselves and are thriving at companies who value their unique skills. We begin in Bedford Park, Illinois, visiting a manufacturing plant of food packaging company Pactiv Evergreen. If you've ever taken home a doggy bag or heated up a frozen TV dinner, you've likely used one of Pactiv Evergreen's products. Take a look at this.
Pactiv Evergreen is the world's largest manufacturer and distributor of food packaging and food service products, supplying packers, processors, supermarkets, restaurants, institutions, and food service outlets across North America. Veterans play a key role in their success.
The environment that a young military officer has to operate in today is one that can best be described as uncertain. And the skill sets that a young military officer learns as they condition themselves to operate in that environment allow them to develop critical skills that we think are so valuable in the business world.
Chuck Whit Whittington joined the Army in 1986 as an artillery officer through the University of Southern Mississippi. He worked his way up to becoming a major general and the deputy director of the Army National Guard. The decorated retired general has been with the company for 30 years.
I'm the Chief Information Officer for Pactiv Evergreen, so whether we're talking about applications, systems, services, all within the information domain, it's focused towards one objective, and that is ensuring that the business is able to meet its objectives.
The main objective? Being as environmentally friendly as possible.
We have a wide variety of products that are made from both recycled or renewable materials. We work very hard to limit our environmental footprint by decreasing and tracking things like greenhouse gas emissions, our energy and our water usage, and things that ultimately end up in the landfill.
The company has a legacy of hiring and supporting veterans. In fact, they have an 8-week leadership program that helps bridge the gap between their military and civilian career.
We teach them everything that they're going to need to know from a business standpoint, the business in general, and then the Pactiv business system. So they get everything that they're going to need to know to kind of round them out and make them successful in the business world.
Victor Bailey has been with the company almost 2 years and recently completed that 2-month leadership program. Bailey commissioned into the Army in 2015. He left the service after 4 years and is now a manufacturing unit manager.
I came into Pactiv Evergreen with a group of junior military officers, is what we're known as, JMOs. Everyone was assigned a mentor that you were able to reach out to at any given time. I think for me, the biggest thing I'm doing every day is genuinely checking in with the employees and seeing how everything's going, ensure that they're doing okay, and learn from them and see where we can improve. Leadership in general, I think it's a very hard skill to teach people, but in the military you're thrown into positions where you have to. And from that, I translated it, same thing, into the business world.
Alex Keeper served as a security forces officer in the United States Air Force from 2011 until 2017. Now, Alex works remotely from his home in upstate New York.
I grew up during the era of 9/11 and really wanted to start out my professional career and giving back to our great country and supporting. Some of the skills that I was able to pick up during the military career was how to influence people, how to lead teams through large changes, how to lead teams that are remote and disconnected geographically. So some of those transitioned very well to set me up for success with Pactiv. I'm interacting with customers every day, trying to close deals and help them grow, providing them education on some of the major investments that Pactiv is making in innovative new products and product materials, sustainable product lines. We're a vital part of that food supply chain, especially during COVID environment. Allowing folks to have sanitary meals is really contributing to the overall health and well-being of our nation.
With more than 60 manufacturing facilities globally, they encourage veterans to check out their career site for a wide range of opportunities across America and beyond.
Pactiv is a large organization, but within your own individual teams, you really have that family atmosphere.
Genuinely, I think all of my fears of transitioning from the military were subsided once I moved to Pactiv.
Pactiv Evergreen, as a company, continues to reach out to veterans organizations to ensure that they understand that there's a home for those warriors here at Pactiv. And I would encourage those young warriors looking for a place that shares those similar cultures, beliefs, and values to consider Pactiv Evergreen.
Welcome back. For over 175 years, Berkshire Bank has always provided outstanding banking services throughout the Northeast. From private banking to insurance to wealth management, Berkshire Bank has always made sure their resources serve the veteran community.
Headquartered in Massachusetts with over 130 locations, Berkshire Bank services folks from New Jersey to Vermont. The veteran community is extremely important to them, which is why they both employ and help veterans transition back to civilian life. Jason Niles is former Air Force. He joined the bank in 2009 and has grown in the ranks ever since.
I joined the military directly out of high school, just looking to travel, so I chose to join the Air Force with a friend of mine. I entered as security forces apprentice, military police. So I traveled from South Korea to Greenland and then finally stationed in Maryland at Andrews Air Force Base, where I separated in 2006. After I got out of the military, I was looking to kind of find my career path, always planning on becoming a police officer right out of the military. In the meantime, I joined the reserves, really decided that reserves were a little bit different than I was used to, and separated.
Melanie Mamani joined the Army at 24 and was deployed to Guantanamo Bay. She started her career at Berkshire Bank in 2016 as a part-time teller.
I was going to college and I was still at home with my mom, helping her take care of my grandfather and everything like that. And I feel like at a certain point, I'm 24, I'm not really doing much, so I'm like, I need to do something with my life. So I actually saw a poster in school about, joining the Army, and I just gave them a call, and literally that's where it all started. So I actually joined when I was working at Berkshire Bank. I had to let everyone know, my manager, I was like, oh, I'm joining the Army, and they were like, oh, that's so scary. Came back from basic training and then still went back to work at Berkshire Bank, literally jumped right back into my job, so that was really great. When I ended up coming back, they were like, you know what, we would really like for you to be full-time at our Newington branch, and I was like, oh, for sure, definitely. This is somewhere where I would definitely love to stay. And
transitioning to civilian life is hard for veterans, so it's important to find a bank that prioritizes their specific needs. It's all about making sure they're successful.
Finding a job isn't as easy when you leave the military. So I tried a number of different jobs and ultimately landed here at Berkshire Bank. So I actually started as a part-time teller. From there, I climbed the ranks through Berkshire Bank and found a knack with working with people. I really enjoyed working with people. Berkshire Bank gave me the training and the skills I needed to continue my development and grew through the ranks as a branch manager and then now a team leader for the My Banker program.
In the military, everyone has a job. Everyone needs to do their job or get their job done so the mission runs successfully. And I think it's kind of the same thing here at Berkshire Bank.
As an SBA preferred lender, we're able to help a veteran business owner and get the services that they need to help grow their business. And the other service that we really provide to veterans is our My Banker service. We become a part of that person's team, take a analyzed approach on finding ways that we can help them in their financial goals or just even their personal finances getting on track.
Things that our military checking account offers, ATM fees are waived. They get their first box of patriotic checks for free. I also see CDs offered with some, rates that are beneficial for, veterans in our military.
Giving back to the veteran community is a priority. After all, it's the same community that helped keep our country safe.
So Berkshire Bank really encourages all employees to volunteer. One specific thing that we do at the bank is called Extraordinary Day. We actually shut down our entire bank and everyone goes out into the community and volunteers. That helped us get 100% participation rate in volunteering. really empowers employees to choose nonprofits to work with that are near and dear to their hearts and make an impact in the community.
Berkshire Bank believes in serving veterans as well as they've served us, from funding a business, building a home, or anything in between.
It's really giving the people the service they should expect from a bank, built around their time, their schedule.
So whether it be specifically for military, for veterans, or any other type of area group that we're looking at. So I feel like that's why Berkshire Bank would be the best for veterans.
First Solar knows that clean, affordable electricity is an essential part of the worldwide energy mix. That's why they're leading the way in photovoltaic energy production, and veterans are a big part of their success.
The Earth's sun, an ever-exploding sphere of gases that emits enough energy every 2 hours to power planet Earth for 1 year.
Being part of something that can change the world and be around for many generations in the future is just phenomenal to be part of that.
Welcome to First Solar, the largest manufacturer of solar panels in the Western Hemisphere.
I'm Mike Korlewski. I work for First Solar. I'm the Chief Manufacturing Operations Officer for the company, in charge of their manufacturing facilities across the globe. I like the technology. It's an advanced technology. It's one of a kind. It's great to be part of that. But most importantly, it's their vision. It's leading the world's sustainable energy future. You start with sunlight. Every day, photons leave the sun. They travel about 91 million miles to the Earth in about 8 minutes. When those photons strike our advanced modules, they create a reaction and they convert that sunlight into electricity. That's called the photovoltaic effect.
My name is Deb Marsh, and pretty much anything that has to do with the building and grounds is what my responsibility is.
As you walk around and see this beautiful campus and the manufacturing line inside, Deb's one of the wheels that keeps this thing moving. She's a hard worker. She's here early in the morning. She stays late at night. She's just a phenomenal woman to work with.
They're trying to make the whole world better by providing solar energy. That was one of the huge reasons that I wanted to work here.
So here at First Solar, our core values are agility, collaboration, and accountability. And we see those in the associates here that make a difference. When we work together to achieve those core values, we really do help make a difference in the world. We have found that when we hire veterans, they already have those 3 core values instilled in them from the military, and that only helps us be successful faster.
When I was growing up, I had a pretty rough childhood. Joining the Coast Guard actually did save my life.
But like many veterans, Deb found the transition from military to civilian life was challenging.
It really was a struggle the first year I was out of the military, trying to find where I fit into the cog. We have 22 veterans a day committing suicide because they can't handle what's happening in the world, and they can't go forward, they can't go back.
Veteran Chiron Collins understands.
It was rough. When I came home, I seen that everything has changed. And then it was getting used to coming up with what should I do. I didn't know what to do after the military.
Chiron Collins is another great story. So Chiron was in the military for several years, made a life change, moved from the West Coast to the Midwest, and today she's actually a coder technician. The coder is the backbone of our manufacturing process and actually starts that entire semiconductor process. So it's a great role and a great person to help be in that role.
It's an amazing company. I mean, it's definitely worth working for. They have great people here.
We also bring to a company like this leadership skills, organization skills, and responsibility. We show up to work every day, on time, sometimes early. That's just part of being in the military.
That can-do vet attitude is what drives First Solar to the forefront of American solar technology.
Right now, solar energy is helping drive prosperity across America and the world.
A large portion of their staff works on military bases, which is why Odyssey Systems Consulting Group feels that their organization is the perfect place for transitioning vets to land.
I'm Zach Caponia. I work for Odyssey Systems, and I'm a logistics manager supporting the F-15 program office. So I graduated high school and actually gave it a couple years out on the economy. And it gave me an opportunity to look and see if I wanted a future doing that. And that's when I realized, I don't think so. I'm looking for something bigger. I want to make a larger impact. And that's when I looked back towards the military. So I joined the military in 1992. I joined the military, I'd say, for the first time. I served for about 3 years, and then I had my first deployment to Saudi Arabia. During that time, I was able to support the F-15 and its missions. Also during that time in 1996, the Air Force was hit with Khobar Towers bombing.
Today, the FBI got to work in Dhahran, gathering the scorched, twisted pieces of a fuel truck loaded with explosives that ripped the front off the 8-story military dorm, exposing just how vulnerable U.S. troops are here.
No person or group has claimed responsibility for the attack yet, and we do not know who is responsible yet. As of this moment, 19 are confirmed dead, all Americans. 80 people have been seriously wounded, including some non-Americans. Anyone who attacks one American attacks every American, and we protect and defend our own.
A lot of airmen were injured. It was a significant occurrence in my career, but it changed me. I'd say I joined the Air Force for the second time in 1996. I had an opportunity after I recovered from injuries to separate, but it changes everything. At this point, I have a whole bunch of battle brothers and sisters, and it changed the reason I served. When I originally joined, I joined to be part of something larger, a career, education. But when I joined the second time, I joined to stay with my brothers and sisters. And that stayed with me throughout my entire military career. So it comes to a point in anybody's military career when they've got to make a transition. I'd got my education, I pushed the button for retirement, and now it got serious. Now it's time to find a job. But I always had a dream in the back of my mind that one day I could work with the F-15 program office, and that'd be Odyssey.
Odyssey is a technical professional services company that augments the government teams so that they can maintain a warfighter mission, they can keep their acquisition development programs ongoing. The company offers a wide variety of professional and technical support. We offer a broad array of engineering specialties, mission planning, program management, logistics to keep the Air Force's acquisition mission going. Odyssey works with the Air Force, for the Air Force.
So right now I'm a logistics manager supporting the F-15 program. I'm specifically working studies, and I'm out in the field to make sure the airmen have what they need to keep the F-15 a strong weapon system well into the future.
I am the Deputy Program Manager for the Odyssey effort at Eglin Air Force Base. Odyssey is a company that seeks to employ veterans and offers the organizational characteristics of your military unit. They're loyal to you, they're a small team, there's camaraderie, and there's a strong mission focus.
So Odyssey's growing. It's growing into a large company, but it still has that small business feel. For transitioning members that are looking to continue supporting soldiers, sailors, airmen, and Marines, you can look to Odyssey Systems.
Odyssey is a great place to land after you retire.
Great to see that after sacrificing so much during their military service, today's veterans were able to shine at these outstanding companies. I'm Montel Williams, and thank you so much for joining us on this episode of Military Makeover Operation Career. See you next time.